Hello, this is Real World Audio, and we are continuing with our Phono cartridges and Phono stage matching little mini series. And I will show uh, the examples, my examples of my Phono stage and cartridge matching situations, and then tell you how you can find good matches, and we'll show you some numbers to it. And it doesn't mean that only these are the only good matches in the universe, but you can use these numbers that I'm using to find out whether the equipment you have is a potentially a good match, or maybe the mismatch is a problem if you are not satisfied with what you currently have. So one example that I can tell you guys is the Hagerman Cornet Phono Stage and Audio-Technica 8440 ML cartridge. And if you ask ML A or B, I say both, because I used them both. And this is a superb combination, and in this case the Audio-Technica, this is a moving magnet cartridge. It's a better quality moving magnet, and it is 4 millivolt output, and the Cornet is a 44 dB output, so that makes a 0.6 volt output. So that's not so high, but pretty decent, and I would say that it's very close. So when you listen to records, the level of the records will be close to what you hear from CD. So if you have CD versions of the songs, like for example, I had what was it? I had one of my weather reports, heavy weather, on both vinyl and CD, and I played both of them, and I played at the exact same output volume. And of course, I would also add that these two are a really good match. So tonally, they match each other, and if you choose something like that, that sort of combination, you will have a really kick-ass, nice little phono system. Now, if you want, then I will talk about moving coils, and with moving coils, there are three categories: high output moving coil, medium output, and low output moving coil. And when you look into moving coil or MC cartridges, it's absolutely vital to differentiate between the output level of the cartridge. The ones that are called high output level cartridges are basically 2.5 millivolt outputs typically, which is half of what is considered as the high level for a moving magnet cartridge. So it's kind of wimpy compared to a true moving magnet. And these are really built to be run with moving magnet input, so high input, high level input phono stages, which is the 47 kilo ohm input phono stage. And but because the output is on the lower side, they tend to sound wimpy, and I would strongly recommend against using high output moving coils if you are on the budget, because a good moving magnet cartridge like the Audio-Technica 8440 has a much higher output level and will sound much more dynamic and have much better bass than a high level moving coil. And basically the only benefit of high level moving coil is their price. They are budget category, but compared to the moving magnet cartridges, they are still expensive, and they will only benefit you If you are not looking for dynamics in sound, you don't want punch, and you are not looking for bass or weight or power, because it's not happening at this level. So basically, I would say moving coils begin at the medium output level, which is around 1 millivolt output. And when we looked at the Audio Technica mono cartridge, the mono 3, those two different versions, the shellac and the long play version, they were this type. So they were 1.2 millivolt output, and this already requires a step up. But if you want to step up a 1 millivolt signal, then a relatively modest step up transformer can do the job well, and you will be fine. Or if you have a really good MC step up in your phono stage, you can use that too, and you can enjoy the benefits of moving coil, which is a lot more uh, detail to the sound and a lot more refinement. You can hear way more into what's happening, what's going on, and that's it. And they are quite a bit more expensive than the budget level moving coils, but they are still in the affordable category. So if you have let's say a good phono stage like the Hagerman Cornet, and maybe you can get like a pair of Altec input transformers for step ups that they used in the mixing consoles, those 600 ohm to 15k little transformers. You can use them with these medium output moving coils with nice results and have a really nice musical system. And now the low output moving coils, and we are talking about half a millivolt or less category. They can get substantially less than half a millivolt. Now we are talking true moving coils, and this is where the benefit of them comes up, but they come with an explicit warning here that you are entering the very expensive category, and this will be uh, of real benefit for you only in the case if you can dedicate a large percent of your savings for this purpose. And I'm talking about saving up. Instead of buying a new car, you just repair your car yourself, your used car, and you put aside the price to finance your low output moving coil. And this is basically what I am doing. So I wasn't born with a bank stuffing money under my pillow, and it took me many years to to live smart and not waste money on stuff that people usually waste money on, like going out every night, eating out, and going to the movies, 5 times a week, buying triple dose of popcorn, and buying all the DVDs of every movie that comes out, and having like dozens of subscriptions, so money leaking left and right. No, you plug all the leaks, set aside your savings, and that's the only way this will be available for you. And if you are looking for shortcuts, they are not going to work. So basically, the high output moving coils that I mentioned before this category are, you can treat them as moving magnet cartridges for the needs of your phono stage. It doesn't need a step up transformer, but the output is on the low side. And warning, if your phono stage is closer to 50 dB in gain, that is preferred. Then that's when it will kind of work for you. If it's like a regular phono stage of around 44 dB gain, then the high output MCs will sound really wimpy for you. So now looking at the medium and low outputs, these definitely will need a step up, additional amplification, which is called step up. And it's literally step up because you have a low level signal and you need to step it up to a higher level so that your phono stage can make sense out of it. And there comes my warning that this level, the medium and low output MC stages, uh, if you go the cheap phono stage way and try to use a junk MC step up to use, especially with low output MC cartridges, it's not really going to work. So basically I'm talking about if you have, let's say, a cheap transistorized receiver that has MC capability, then you are not going to hear what the MC cartridge is capable to present. You are going to hear a mediocre moving magnet level performance out of that receiver. You really need a dedicated phono stage even to make use of moving magnet cartridges, and the those solutions, and people try to use receivers and budget level stuff to use moving coil cartridges were well, I was not impressed, to say the least. But you can try out. I'm not saying don't try it out, but if it comes to the question, shall you invest in that sort of thing? So if you have a receiver, shall you go for a moving coil cartridge? No. Go for a good moving magnet cartridge. It will be much better than straining your receiver to do what it technically could do, because there's the feature in it, but that feature is really an afterthought, and it does not have that quality to it that would make this feature truly desirable and useful. So basically, when we are talking about the low output moving coil cartridges, this is the hard stuff. They need a step up, and the step up can be anywhere between 10 dB to 50 dB, and that's why you cannot just buy any low output moving coil for your step up, because step ups have discrete step up. Let's say it can do like a 20 dB step up, or 28 dB, or 42 dB, or maybe it can do like a series of steps, but you have to be absolutely sure that the step up can do the exact step up that the low output cartridge needs. And if they are not matched, it will not work. So for example, let's say that you have the highest level audio note step up transformer that is able to provide 50 dB plus gain, and then you try to match it with a moving coil cartridge that has 0.3 millivolt output. Let's say you get a kudzu and try to run it with that audio technical step up. It will be a tragedy. It will not work. And that's not the fault of the kudzu, that's not the fault of audio note. It's the fault of the person trying to mismatch these two, which are really far from each other. And that's why choosing a step up transformer and is not an easy choice, because you don't go buying a step up transformer that, oh, this is the best step up transformer, I heard about it, and then you buy it, and then you realize that it only can use maybe 2 or 3 cartridges in the world, and nothing more. So you have to be really informed about what you want to use, what you want to choose, and I would recommend everyone to just go out and listen to different cartridges, different step ups before deciding what you want, because if you have a step-up transformer, you have dedicated yourself to a range of cartridges in a specific output level. Now, the simpler solution is to have a step up which is integrated. So it means that it's part of your phono stage. And the higher end models or some of the phono stages, there are some lower phono stages too with MC step up, but there the notion is really questionable, because if you have a lower end step up, I would explicitly warn against using MC cartridges, because you are not going to hear any of the benefits of them. Just try to use a good moving magnet cartridge. That will save you money and save your sanity as well. But even with the higher end phono stages, and I'm talking about the many thousand or $10,000 price category, the step up inside is still a huge compromise compared to an external step up transformer. And also it is limited. It will be able to give you only a certain amount of step up, and maybe you can go down to a 0.3 millivolt level input, but not lower. So if you have something like a Kutsu Platinum or maybe an Audio Technica IO cartridge, then you will hear nothing coming out of the phono stage, because the level will not be sufficient by a wide margin to use those cartridges and many more with those built-in stages. So now I'm going to give you a concrete example, which is my violin, the Hagerman violin phono stage. So it's moving magnet section. I mean, the standard phono section of it has 44 dB of gain, and it has the MC step up built in, which has 4 different choices. So we have the standard 44 and then plus 10 dB for 54, and then 60, 63, 65 dB. And I also gave you calculated what is the voltage gain that it provides, so that you can match it with the cartridge. So the moving magnet part, it gives 160 times higher voltage, and then here 500, 1000, 1.4, 1.8 thousand times more. And the standard gain section in the violin is vacuum tubes, and the MC step up is transistorized. It's FETs. It's field emitting transistors, and that's what happens basically in all of the phono stages. The MC step up, even if they are tubed, the MC is a FET or JFET for reasons of practicality. And now let's see what are the optimal cartridge outputs, cartridge levels for these gains. I gave you a cheat sheet for that. So basically, like for the basic version, if it's between 4-6 millivolts, so it's like a high output cartridge that you will be playing it happily. And for the MC step up, like a medium level output cartridge, you can either use the 54 or the 60 dB steps, and then going to the low output level, then the 63 dB is if you are on kind of like the borderland between medium and low output cartridge, and the 65 dB for a low output moving coil, but only the top of it. Like I would not it is perfectly comfortable with my 0.35 millivolt output cartridges. But if you go lower with that, then it will not be optimal for it anymore. And usually this is what the built-in MCs can provide you with a phono stage up to 65 dB or so. If they provide more, that's I would say highly questionable at best, because here we are reaching the region where you really need a transformer to do the gain. if you use an active device, either a FAT or a tube, you are compromising the quality a lot. So anyway, I think that's my last slide. Yes. So when you add a step up transformer, because this is also my system, so basically what I'm doing is that the 65 dB scenario, it's comfortable playing a 0.35 millivolt output cartridge, which I have, but if I use an external step up transformer, it's just way more dynamic, and it really opens up and gets to the next level. And I have this SUT1 step up transformer, and I have shown it in a few videos, and it has 28 dB of gain, which means 25 times voltage gain. So you can calculate the total gain by adding the gain that they provide with your step up, which is 28 in this case, add it to the gain of the moving magnet, so the high level of the phono stage, so that's total 72 dB, which is a 4,000 time increase. So when we compare it, the internal MC step up gives only 65 dB, and now I have 7 dB more total gain. So basically 4,000 times higher voltage if I use the step up transformer, and now I'm getting 1.4 volts output with the SUT versus the 0.6 volt output with the internal MC step up. And actually the internal MC step up of the violin is high enough quality that you can enjoy the low output cartridges, but this is kind of like the zone where you can push it, the 0.3 millivolt, but it's already at that level. If you use an external step up transformer, you will step to the next level. But if you don't have a step up transformer, even then this phono stage will give you a really fine rendering, and you can enjoy a moving coil cartridge very much with all its advantages. And I would say I'm not saying anymore. It's already 23 minutes. So thank you guys for tuning in. Have an awesome day. I hope this helped everyone to find your cartridge or find your step up, or just decide that you really need to stay with moving magnets. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.